The time has come. Fallout Wiki Roulette. We're doing this. Look at that mess on the side of the screen. Can you read your messages? Nope. So, someone adding Fallout. We're adding Fallout to Alan today. So this is Alan. Alan has had a makeover today. Hang on, really quickly. Let me save him really quick. Fallout Wiki Wheel. This is what Alan normally looks like on TARDIS Wiki Roulette, where we have 233 entries. We don't have quite that many right now on the Fallout version of Alan. We only have 24. Alan has lost a lot of weight for this, yes. They've been binging and purging. That is true. 1950s, adding 1950s to the wheel. Liberty Prime, adding Liberty Prime to the wheel. So yeah, the way this show works is you guys give me entries, we put them on this wheel, and then after the entries have been put onto the wheel, we put them onto the Fallout Independent Wiki, which apparently wasn't open on that window. Hold on. Let's take another look. Hey, it's the Fallout Independent Wiki. By the way, check out the Fallout Independent Wiki. I asked the person who runs it, I think, for permission to do this, and they said yes. So we're doing it. Fallout Wiki Roulette. We're opening up to other franchises. Not sure what it's going to be next week, but I will have something good to pick. Also, further announcements, because further announcements are important. It's important to just announce things and not actually do any content. So first announcement for today. Tonight, if you're going to be going over to the Twitch stream over on Wild Magic, we will be playing a viewer requested game tonight. We're going to be playing a new game. We're going to be playing, let me just get it up here so you can take a look. We're going to do a big reveal because I love a good big reveal. Okay. We are going to be... Oh, wait. No, that didn't work. I'm very technically skilled. Can you tell? We're going to be playing The Murder of Sonic the Hedgehog tonight on Wild Magic. Maybe all the way through. Maybe a full playthrough. Let's find out. But we're doing Murder of Sonic the Hedgehog tonight on Wild Magic. Should be a good time. And then the VOD will be available maybe next week, maybe the week after. We'll see. Why not Skibbity Toilet roleplay? Because I don't know what that is, and I'm pretty sure the dude who created Skibbity Toilet is a racist. So I don't want to support them if that's the case. That is what I've heard though, from people that I trust in this chat. How depth is this site? Is cheese a page? Let's find out. I'm going to add cheese to the thing. I don't think it's quite the same level of head-crushing depth that the TARDIS Wiki is, but it's definitely going on there. Don't worry, I played Among Us and Clue. The thing is, Craig, that didn't encourage me. Who isn't racist though? I think it crosses the line of racism that's acceptable. Like me, I don't think British people drive well. That's my bit of racism. Fallout 2. But yeah, I am aware that there's a little independent cabal of indie wikis, and I'm planning on only featuring them. No fandom stuff on this Wiki Roulette show ever. Okay. Joking, obviously. I don't know what we were joking about, but that's okay. We already did that bit. Now we're on to this bit. Did I ever tell y'all about my dad's experience with the UK Home Office? Why don't you tell the story of your dad's experience with the UK Home Office while I prep up a little wheel spin on this thing? Why don't we do that? The Fallout TV series. On the ones like that, where it's going to be huge, because I imagine Fallout 2 is also going to have a really big, article. On the cases of those, I'm going to kind of skim them a bit, but when it's smaller articles, I'm going to real question what's wrong with fandom. Apparently they money grub a bit too much, and it's become more about profit than actually doing the wikis. And while I don't have a problem with people making money for doing their work, especially on wikis, because wikis is tough, my understanding is that they cross the line into some unethical business practices, basically. Everything, there are great videos about it. Yeah, if there are videos to link, why don't you send them to me, and at some point I'll do a reaction stream and we can look at all of them together. So my dad was doing a postdoc in the UK. He's American and white. He was sent a set-term visa for his postdoc, but needed a 3-month extension to finish it up. Okay. Lots of ads. They love AI in the videos. Explain it better than I could. I don't really like the idea of using AI for wiki writing because, I mean, it makes mistakes. It's too sloppy for that. I think there are certain applications where AI is really useful. I don't think that running a wiki is one of them. Alright, well, it's been 11 minutes. Let's spin a wheel. Spin a wheel. First wheel spin of the Fallout Wiki Roulette. What an auspicious occasion. Let's see where it lands. Ooh, Alan's a bit quiet. There we go. And it landed on Portadiner. From Fallout 76. The only current gen Fallout game that I have not played. Because I've heard it's bad. But let's find out what the wiki has to say about it. But yeah, generally, in terms of like the difference between like this and a fandom wiki, this one doesn't have ads. It doesn't have like gunk. Like, I would consider it gunk, like, whereas if you go on, like, a fandom wiki, you will have so many ads that it will become basically impossible to navigate the page without an ad blocker, and, like, you don't want that, you know what I mean? I can see I'm going to have to format this one a little bit different. This wiki. There we go, that looks nice. Perfect! We have the wiki properly formatted. Let's take a look at the image first. So that is a Portadiner in all of its resplendent glory. Okay, I'm gonna read Najawin's story pretty quickly, and then we're gonna have a look at this one. He goes Anyway, he went to the home office to ask for the extension, and there were a bunch of POCs crying outside the office, heads and hands, etc., etc. So he got very nervous, worried he'd be rejected. He goes in, says he needs an extension for 3 months, acts very nervous, tries to be professional. So you need an extension for 3 months? Yes, sir. 3 months? Yes, sir. Only 3 months. Are you sure you don't want to stay longer? Man, fuck the home office. That's awful. I once saw an ad on top of another ad on fandom once where someone posted this. That's pretty bad. Gunk. So gunk is like ads. You know, like ads for mobile games and stuff. When there's so many ads on like a thing that like you basically can't navigate it. Now I'm not sure if I go on a fandom wiki really quickly. Okay, literally, hang on. This here, check this out. This is just the fandom front page. These are all just ads. All of these are ads. All of these are articles that will link to an affiliate and then try and sell you some bullshit. And if you go onto any one of these, let's go on the Matrix one, okay? Maybe mine will work better because I'm blocking everything, but literally, you get bombarded with ads. Like, now there's just an honest trailer for Team America World Police just playing in the background on this wiki that I didn't ask for. It's a nightmare. And it, like, my computer, which is a quite nice computer, by the way, is now screaming at me because of the number of ads. That's why I don't do fandom wikis. Should that be a short? Maybe. Did I put Skyrim on the wheel? Ryan, now I have to do 20 push-ups. What, because I visited a fandom wiki? I put Skyrim on the wheel, yes. I'm not going to do it, because that will set a precedent for me having to do 20 push-ups every time I go on a fandom wiki. Shitdom? Yeah, absolute shitdom, man. Absolutely. You're right, Craig. fits to replay. Is there a dark mode for this? Let's find out if there's a dark mode for this. View source, community, explore, about, mods, resources, in resources. I don't see it. I don't see it anywhere. I'm going to assume it doesn't. That's going to be the thing we're going to request of the Fallout Wiki for when Fallout Wiki people watch this. Is add a dark mode, man. Do it. Be way better. Alright, so let's look them up. Portadiners. Portadiners are world objects in Fallout 76. And the quote says, "Nothing fits your belly finer than goodies from a portadiner," which is like a radio ad, I guess. So background. A pre-war style vending machine, when activated, has a small chance of dispensing a perfectly preserved pie. Gameplay. If the game immediately drops that... claw immediately drops down upon activating, it will result in a failed attempt. Only when the claw slightly adjusts itself above the pie will it result in a successful attempt. And then it has a list of locations here. They're everywhere, apparently. My god. And let's look at the notes. Oh, this one got removed from the game, apparently. I'm not sure why. Okay. When a portadiner is activated, the game generates a random number between 1 and 1,000. If the number is less than or equal to 2 times luck plus attempts over 2, the pie will be given. By cumulative probabilities, a player character with luck 5 has roughly a 50% chance of obtaining the pie within 36 attempts, and roughly the remaining chance of obtaining it within 37 to 125 attempts. Therefore, if you give yourself a luck of 5, you have a 50% chance of obtaining it over 36 attempts. Is that an exploit? Is that a way to break the game? I don't know. But I am going to put this out as a clip with the thumbnail, how to break Fallout 76. And this will be the answer you get at the end of it. And I'm sure people will be very happy about that. By the way, make sure to subscribe to Something Blue Audio. Let's take a look at another entry. Let's do another one. Yeah, baby. Alan loves it. Alan's mad happy. He's super pleased with how this is all going. Nice! LGBTQ plus I, which wasn't in the entry, representation in Fallout. Did someone request this one? I can't remember if someone requested this one or if I put it in myself. There's a bunch I put in myself on this one. So we'll see. Might have done this one, I'm not sure. If someone did do this one, please put your hands up. Is there a Something Blue Audio wiki? There should be. Plot twist, Ryan became a nuclear powered human. How do you know that? How did you know that about me? Alright, here we go. LGBTQ representation in Fallout. Time to learn some real knowledge, some important knowledge, together, as a family. So, in the first game, after rescuing Tandy from the Khans, the Vault Dweller can ask if she would like to get together, or if the player is male, she will state that she is not that kind of girl, and you go find a Brahma or something, basically telling you to go fuck a cow. That's great, I love it. If the player is female, Tandy will stutter her words and say, "Listen, but I like guys, okay? Phew, excuse me, I got stuff to do." Ah! Interesting. That is a very different reaction, yes. Maybe even implying interest, if you can believe such a thing. Okay, Fallout 2. Fallout 2 was the first game in the series to introduce same-sex romance option. When did Fallout 2 came out? That's really interesting. Hang on, I want to look up when Fallout 2 came out. Fallout 2 release year. 1998? Like before the Matrix? That's fucking cool. Wow. How far ahead of its time was Fallout? That's insane. That is absolutely insane. And like super cool as well. Fallout is based. Fallout is absolutely based. That is wonderful to hear. Okay, I saw someone wanted me to add something to the wheel, so I'll do that really quickly, and then we will proceed. Okay. Let's learn a little bit more about LGBT representation in the Fallout universe. So yeah, Fallout 2 was the first game in the series to introduce same-sex romance options. The Chosen One can romance and marry Davin and Miria, two siblings residing in the town of Modoc. If the player chooses to sleep with either of them, their father Grisham will burst into the room to initiate a shotgun wedding. The Bishop crime family is accepting of same-sex relationships. If the Chosen One joins the family, John Bishop says he can get glitter boys for male players and references swinging the other way from female players. Pronoun gay, woke. I think this might be a little bit woke, yes. John Bishop, I don't think it's John Bishop from, I don't think it's John Bishop from Doctor Who, no. I'll tell you what, I think it's crazy. I think it's crazy, right? I try to like log on to an RPG, not knowing, you know, what kind of encounters I'm going to have, what kind of connections I'm going to build, what kind of fights I'm going to have, just so that they can current day us with present day California shit. I log on to Fallout 2 and find fucking pronouns! There, I did the thing. I did the thing that the embarrassing fun man did last year. Did you see there's more and more people who are like, oh no, embarrassing fun man guy. He actually had a point. Fucking gender ambiguity! By the way, we support we support trans, LGBT, non-binary, and all other folks here at Something Blue Audio, to be completely clear. Thank you, Ryan. That's what I had to, man. I fucking have to. Woke good, Ryan. Yes, woke is indeed good. Yes. Every now and again, Bruce, every now and again, I like to just stick his head on thumbnails. Imagine Ronald Reagan going woke. Can you imagine? Okay. So yeah, characters in Fallout 2 who have the gay. Let's find out. David and Maria, yeah, two siblings in Modoc, can be romanced, slept with, and married regardless of gender. Leslie Ann Bishop, the wife of John Bishop, can be romanced and slept with regardless of gender. Miss Kitty, the proprietor of Cat's Paw in New Reno, can be slept with regardless of gender. After defeating the Enclave, female punks on the PMV Valdez will comment that they heard Badger was gay until he began a relationship with his girlfriend Suze. Ronald Reagan literally suggested that a reporter who asked about the HIV crisis only cared about it because he was gay. Ronald Reagan literally suppressed research into HIV to kill as many gay people as possible. Ronald Reagan was a monster. Glenda Close, first Doctor of the Reaver movement, will flirt with the player while outside of combat, regardless of gender. Now, this one is from Fallout Tactics. She will also state that there is a passionate energy between them, as well as stating that if the player searches their soul, they will find love for her. Paladin Emerald Solo is described as female, but has a male voice and voice actor. That's interesting. And then we get to Fallout Brotherhood of Steel. And I don't know much about the Fallout universe, but I do know that Fallout Brotherhood of Steel is kind of seen as like the black sheep of the Fallout family. So it's really nice that they've also continued their the LGBT representation. That's mad, man. That's mad. He was deeply evil, would never go woke, and I hate that people deify him across the political spectrum. The media loved him as part of the issue, because Ronald Reagan was the last time that liberals and conservatives could agree on just how many minorities it was worth sacrificing to, like, keep the like, white politosphere together and stable. That's why, like, liberals love Ronald Reagan. Spin-offs? I'll put spin-offs in the wheel, yes. I think this one's going to be a video, guys. I got a feeling in my balls that this one's going to be a video. What is media distortion field? What is that? Can you explain that, Najawin, to people like me who are ignorant? So do you think when I make this into a video, should I go like respectful about it, or should I try and piss off the chuds? What are we thinking? Are we thinking like are we thinking try to have some self fucking respect, or should I try and just pick fights with people? Let's find out. Do I stick the pronoun man on the thumbnail? Piss off the chuds, they deserve it. I agree. You know, I made that Rings of Power is great video just to piss them off and like get angry reactions from them, and it worked. That was great. That was a good video. I love that one. Ruby, a female escort in Carbon, can provide her services to player characters, including the 2 female characters, Nadia and Patty. Know it, remarking, "Women know what women want, sugar. Come here and I'll show you." That was definitely written by a man. Everyone is fighting a battle. Attack them, then they'll fight too. Nah, the real thing you do is like get a bunch of other people to attack them, and then they're fighting 4 or 5, and then you attack them. The media kept portraying him as respectable, even if you might disagree with him, and it sort of filters into the zeitgeist, even if you're intellectually aware of how bad he is. I understand that. He wasn't that good an actor either, to be fair. Spin-offs and SpongeBob, I will add those. Is SpongeBob in the Fallout Wiki? There's only one way to find out, I guess, and that's to like enter him into the Fallout Wiki. So I'll do that. Doonesbury was deeply critical of him at the time, for instance. It is kind of interesting how we've just kind of airbrushed his image to like make it acceptable and stuff, even though yeah, he was bad. He was bad. Alright, so Fallout 3. Now we get to the first of the Bethesda made Fallouts. And I'm very interested to see whether it's better or worse representation than the ones from the fucking 90s, which had pretty good representation, especially for the 90s. So, Carol and Greta. A DC native who was born before the Great War, Carol had narrowly evaded vaporization by seeking refuge inside of a fallout shelter. She emerged from the rubble of the smouldering capital and eventually found safety inside the Museum of History. Although she has since been transformed into a ghoul, Carol was able to find love in Underworld when she met Greta during the mid-2210s. Together, they have jointly ran a bed and breakfast called Carol's Place for over 60 years. It has been many years since she has seen or heard talk of her adoptive son, Gob, who had left the sanctuary of the Underworld. I know who Gob is. That's insane. Okay. Anthony Ling, a merchant who runs New Urban Apparel at Tenpenny Tower, flirts with the security guard and Chief Gustavo. Anthony's AI package for his behavior is Anthony Ling flirt with male guards. Well, that's pretty explicit. Bittercup, a resident of Big Town, flirts with the Lone Wanderer and asks if they're in a relationship, regardless of gender. On subsequent visits, she gifts the player random items. Emmeline, a mercenary who travels with Sydney, is said to be her faithful girlfriend. Flack, a weapons merchant who runs flak and shrapnels at Rivet City, is referred to as Old Queen Flack by Grouse if enslaved during the quest Strictly Business. Queen is a term used to refer to gay men, and the script note for the dialogue reads, genuinely mystified as how the player managed to enslave one tough dude, Queen as in gay. God damn it. So what I see here is one pretty big entry and then 4 little ones. It appears that there's actually about as much as there is in lots of is said to. That's what I was about to get to. It's interesting how like in Fallout 2 all of these characters are very explicitly LGBT. And then in Fallout 3, there's a lot of they're implied to be LGBT. You know what I mean? They're LGBT, but only off screen. They're LGBT in the same way that Disney characters who are LGBT are LGBT. You know, just enough that you don't fucking notice. For real. I would say that's a step down. Alright, and now we go on to Fallout New Vegas. Maybe the greatest game of all time. And this game was not made by Bethesda. It was made by Obsidian. So I'm just going to make a wild prediction right here and say that it improves a little bit with the Obsidian stuff. Let's find out. Sorry, Todd Howard, but it is what it is, and you kind of dug this one yourself. So, Fallout New Vegas. Fallout New Vegas introduced a wide array of LGBTQ characters to the series, many of whom would serve prominent roles in the game's story, such as the recruitable companions Arcade Gannon, Legend, and Veronica, also Legend. Factions throughout Mojave Wasteland hold differing views on homosexuality, which influence many of their actions. The New California Republic itself prohibits all forms of discrimination based on sexuality, though only within their jurisdiction. Major Knight, an NCR state officer stationed at Mojave Outpost, states that people are not as accepting of homosexuality in the Republic. He also states that the Republic's a sight better than other alternatives. Caesar's Legion, on the other hand, holds extremist views towards homosexuality, constituting it as a capital punishment. Jimmy, a male sex worker in Westside, speaks about his past as a Legion slave and the homosexual relationship he had with a Centurion, stating that he was his tent servant and that it was our secret and he'd protect me. This ended when they were nearly caught, resulting in the Centurion's attempt to kill him. He adds that men have to meet obligations and the child count, and if so, friendships are a sight more equal than the level of most Legion husbands and wives. Despite homosexuality being punishable by death, many Mojave inhabitants make comments about it being a common practice among the Legion. That tracks as well. See, the world building in New Vegas is so much better than like almost any game. I love that, like, Fallout 3, it's like, they might be gay, you know, if you want them to be. You know, we won't put anything explicit in the game, like making that clear. And then Fallout New Vegas is like, no, you can literally tell what each faction's fucking, whether a faction is evil or not, based on how they treat homosexuality. Like, Fallout New Vegas, like, bakes it in and makes it an essential part of the world building, which is good, because at the end of the day, it's supposed to reflect life, and, like, gay people existing is part of life, even though some people may not like to accept that. It is legit interesting stuff. It's interesting the contrast between the three companies in terms of how they treat it, because I feel like it starts very strong with, is it Black Isle, the original Fallout developers? The original Fallout developers did such a good job, and then, like, Bethesda comes in and buys it, and kind of, like, shaves all that down, because let's be honest, they don't want to offend homophobes, because God forbid we offend homophobes. And then, Obsidian comes in and is like, nah, fuck that noise, actually. Let's do a proper fucking game. And they did! Let's continue. Rant over. Mr. House cares very little about sexuality, stating that he has no interest in legislating or otherwise dictating what people do in their private time. At Gamora, prostitutes such as Dazzle and Joanna offer sexual services regardless of the customer's gender. Marco in Westside owns a brothel in the Casa Madrid apartments, which offers same-sex services to both genders. Sweetie for females and Jimmy for males. Another prostitute, Maud, makes disparaging remarks about their peers' willingness to sleep with the same-sex partners, calling Sweetie perverted and Jimmy one of those. They're the Doctor House. Players have the option of selecting the perks Cherchez le Femme if female and Confirm Bachelor if male. These perks grant unique same-sex dialogue options with various characters and damage bonuses against the same sex, in addition to the Black Widow and Lady Killer perks for the opposite sex. So basically, you could take Lady Killer and Confirmed Bachelor and be like a bisexual super assassin in Fallout New Vegas, and that automatically makes it the best Fallout game. Bisexual characters can choose a combination of these perks, granting unique dialogue options for both sexes, while asexual characters can opt out altogether. domestic violence perks. I mean, that assumes that you were in a relationship with the raider that you killed using this perk every time. Alright, let's go through the characters in a second. Asexual rep, let's fucking go. Bruce, have you ever played No Man's Sky? Not No Man's Sky, the other one, the good one. Have you ever played the Outer Worlds, Bruce? If you haven't, I will play it. I will stream that motherfucking game. The Outer Worlds has a character in it. I think her name is Parvati. And no joke, some of the best ace representation I think I've ever seen. Really good. I don't play video games. I'm going to stream the Outer Worlds for you then, and you're going to see some... That's a really good game. It was made by Obsidian, the people who made Fallout New Vegas. And a lot of people kind of rejected it because it wasn't more Fallout New Vegas. But it's really good. Honestly, it's the best Doctor Who game I think I've ever played. Like, it's the most you feel like you're the Doctor, like, playing that game. I'll have to play it at some point. Especially because I like playing slightly lesser known games and kind of giving them shine. So I think that might be a good time. I would say in terms of franchises that have good LGBT representation in general, Borderlands is really, really good about that. That's one of the big issues with the movie, actually, is that they straightened it out quite a lot. Those games are really good for that. Let's see, Arcade Garden. You want to play as like a non-binary robot Beastmaster, they've got you. Veronica and Christine Royce are members of the Brotherhood of Steel. The two were in a relationship before Christine left due to differences with her parents. Christine can be encountered in the Sierra Madre and informs the courier that Father Elijah, a former Brotherhood elder and the mentor of Veronica, used his status to separate the pair. Evil! Christine also confirms that she and Veronica were lovers. When you're going back to playing Borderlands 2, did you enjoy the Borderlands 2? I'll play it again. Yeah, I'm happy to. When trying to recruit Arcade Gannon as a companion, Courier with the confirmed bachelor perk can flirt with him. Upon asking Arcade about himself, he sarcastically remarks about why no lucky man has scooped him off his feet yet. Although when it comes to Fallout, I'm mostly seeing LGB, not much T. That is true. However, we're still in the early 2010s now, I think. But that is a good point. But we'll see if that changes with Fallout 4. It should change with Fallout 4. I feel like it's really their responsibility to, like, do this. I think what they mentioned before in Fallout 2, one of the guards was meant to be, like, either trans or non-binary. Because they had, like, a gender swap voice actor. I think that was what they were trying to do there, Bruce. In a very 90s sort of way. But I do notice that as well. When trying to recruit Arcade Gannon as a companion, a male courier with the confirmed bachelor perk can flirt with him. Upon asking Arcade about himself, he sarcastically remarks about why no lucky man has swooped him off his feet yet. Corporal Betsy, an NCR sniper at Camp McCarran, flirts with a female courier with at least 7 charisma. She remarks about her leave coming up and imagines being rolled up in those silk sleets at the Gomorrah with the courier. If her advances are rejected, Betsy still comes onto the player, stating that they'll never know what you might like if you don't give it a try. When exiting dialogue, she mutters about how she always scares off the hot ones. According to Lieutenant Gorobets, due to a recent traumatic event, Betsy makes passes at every woman who wanders by. Dr. Richards, a doctor stationed at Camp Forlorn Hope, flirts with a courier with the confirmed bachelor perk, calling them pet names such as Buttercup and Deer. Cass mentions to courier with the Cherchez La Femme perk that when she is drunk enough, she does not care who she shares a bed with. There's a lot here, man. Look at these. Hang on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. There are 16 in fucking Fallout New Vegas, and a fucking essay about the themes and politics and how sexuality is intrinsically like measured into the world and placed into the world. And then you have Fallout 3, where some characters maybe are possibly gay. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Straight people ruin everything, man. Let's see. Is that why they say it's the best game? No, I didn't even know about this. But that's not why they say it's the best game. It's the best game because, like, it has the best gameplay loop system. It has the best story. It has the best world building. It has some of the best game design of, like, the worlds. Like, it's the least repetitive feeling. And it was made in less than a year. So it gets, like, doubly impressive when you consider, like, the production into like thing. And also, all of the DLCs for Fallout New Vegas are all completely different fucking games. Like, they all completely change what the game even is. It's amazing. It's really amazing. Fallout New Vegas might be the best game ever made, and I actually have it sitting right here on my Steam Deck, and I will be streaming it at some point all the way through, so you'll get to experience that. I'll probably do that on fucking Something Blue Audio, to be honest. War tried to warn us, the band, not an actual war. Alright, so Dr. Dala, a pre-war scientist operating at Big Empty, has an interest in formography, which they described as the excessive examination of the human form to achieve psychological arousal. The courier has the option to arouse them with their bodies regardless of gender, which can be repeated multiple times. If attacked, they scold the courier for hitting a gender-neutral entity such as themselves. Not as good as Lego Dimensions? I don't know, man. Bold talk from someone who hasn't played Undertale. I will play Undertale at some point, I'm sure. Devin, an NCR soldier, wrote a letter to his boyfriend Andrew informing him that he'd get home soon and that they'd party in New Vegas when he gets back, ending with an I love you. As of patch 12031X, this letter can no longer be obtained. Someone needs to mod the love letter back in. Come on, people. Dobson O'Gill was involved in an affair with his colleague, Alan Dalton. Elaine, an NCR soldier, wrote a love letter to her girlfriend Angela, writing that she only enlisted to protect Angela from the Legion, and that she plans to propose to her at the end of her tour. Okay, we have now reached Fallout 4. Okay? I'm going to be right back in a second, and then we're going to look at this. Okay? Wokes in my Sigma Fallout game. Okay, I'm back. That part's not going to be in the video, but I'm back. 5 likes and Ryan will play Lego Dimensions. He totally has it and all the figures for it. It is very expensive to get into now in a serious sense. Doctor Who has always been woke. What was the turning point for Doctor Who? When did Doctor Who start being woke? That's what I want to know. Because, I mean, the first episode was about, like, cavemen and shit. And then the second episode was, like, just the Daleks. But they hadn't even really worked out that the Daleks were Nazis before. Yeah. Like, what really was it? It's an interesting thought. Episode 1 is a communism parallel, according to some. Are the people who say that communists, by any chance? Caveman is too woke, I guess. Yeah, right? They're discovering fire, and that's progress. And progress is bad. There's an episode complaining about feminists in one's run. Didn't that one recently get a fucking animated adaptation as well? Caveman, gender identity, woke. Okay. let's take a look at this one. Fallout 4 introduced the ability. Okay, yeah, we're doing this now. We're doing Fallout 4 now. Let's find out. So we did Fallout 1 and 2, which had very impressive LGBT representation for games from the 90s. And then we did Fallout 3, which frankly was a bit disappointing and milquetoast. And now we have Fallout 4. Wait, no. Then we had Fallout New Vegas. And that was great. That actually had a really solid LGBT representation. And now we're on to Fallout 4. And given that this is the most recent Fallout game, and given like when it came out, I'm expecting this to have the best representation. The best. And if it doesn't, then, I mean, it kind of sucks, doesn't it? Kind of a step backwards. Fallout 4 introduced the ability to romance recruitable companions via the new affinity mechanic, with the exception of Nick Valentine, Deacon, X688, and Old Longfellow. All human companions are romanceable regardless of gender. Polyamorous players have the option to romance multiple companions without penalty, except while flirting with other characters in an already romanced companion's presence. In previous Fallout titles, gender-specific armor and clothing would transform into an entirely different outfit or alter the appearance to match the player's gender. In Fallout 4, male players can wear feminine clothes, such as dresses, and female players can wear masculine clothes, such as tuxedos and suits, opening up the ability to cross-dress. The game explores the concept of romantic relationships between robots and humans. Is being a robosexual part of LGBT? Is wanting to fuck robots like part of the LGBTQ IA plus like spectrum? Is that how that works? I'm really curious. If that's true, all straight men are LGBT. I mean, not me. I don't want to fuck robots. I have a wife. But yeah, most straight men are LGBT. I just think it's really interesting that this one, it's like, well, I mean, you can romance companions except for the interesting ones. I think it's interesting that they say that. They say that you can be poly. Okay. They say that you can cross-dress. And then there's a joke. There's a joke about lol, aren't gay people funny here? Because Gilda Prosco also mentions that her acting partner, Keith McKinney, caught Vince, Natalie, and Sergio Amore at a nightclub in a compromising situation. There's a gay wedding. That's pretty... Wait, no. It's a robot wedding. No. Sorry. Sentient robots, though. Come on. I'm not saying having sex with robots is bad. If the robot can give informed consent, I don't care. Okay? What I'm saying is it part of being LGBT? Like, just by default. In my Doctor Who series, I don't romance my companion because my doctor and my companion have like a brother-sister kind of relationship. Well, that's cool. You'll have conservatives whining about how robots are indoctrinating children. Probably, yes, that is true. Gilda Brosco also mentioned... Oh, I read that part. So yeah, there's a bit here about how you could romance any of your companions except for these four, and I think there's like 6 companions. That's not great. Then there's a bit about cross-dressing, which is cool. I guess. Yeah. I don't know. Though. I don't think I would call that good representation of trans people, because I feel like a trans woman would just make a female character. They wouldn't make a male character and then stick them in a dress. So I don't know about that. And I do think it's interesting that the only mention here is like a 90s gay joke that's at the expense of the gay people. Not sure many people think that they are robosexuals. Yeah, I know. I know. Lily Bell and Mary Jane. They might short circuit. They're putting chemicals in the water that turn the robots. Mary Jane, more like Sarah Jane. Doctor Who reference! Lily Bell and Mary Jane were two married adventurers who worked on the Commonwealth Travel Guide together, a guide that documents various Commonwealth locales with their own dialogue and accounts. Lily mentions meeting Mary while walking out of Fenton, seeing her carry enough firepower to mow down a 10-story Deathclaw, an encounter she described as love at first collision. Aww. One of Lily's most important locations to visit was Sanctuary Hills. On their travels, the two landed in Diamond City, where Lily fell ill and was diagnosed with terminal cancer. They travelled further to visit another doctor in Goodneighbor and were given the same diagnosis. With her condition worsening, Lily and Mary stopped in Bunker Hill and completed the guide from Caravan Hearsay. Lily made Mary promise to properly finish her guide by visiting Sanctuary one day, which she accepts before returning to their home in Quincy. After Lily's death, Mary made a 6-month trek to Sanctuary Hills to complete Lily's guide, though died on the way home. The player is tasked with returning her wedding ring to Lily's grave. Okay, so... Wait. Oh, hello. How you doing? They look great. Okay, back to it. Yeah, no, this is bury your gays. Like the biggest thing it has in the Fallout 4 section is just about a gay couple that died off screen. One of whom of cancer. That's not good. It's not good at all. Okay, Professor Skarner and Dr. Duff, two scientists who work and live together at the Science Center, are stated to be wives. In the script notes. In the script notes. Cowardly. Pure cowardice. Oh, apparently Skarner calls Duff dear, so that's okay. If the sole survivor fails to enlist Madison Lee for Liberty Reprimed, they are directed to visit the Science Center to recruit Professor Skarner instead. Although only Duff is present, she tells the player that Skarner has gone missing, mentioning that the two are very close and that she would be distraught if something happened to her. What? Does she die too? Yeah, this feels like a big step backwards. A big step backwards. Colette Cook, daughter of Henry Cook, can be flirted with regardless of gender. When flirted with, she will state that she is not looking for a date, calling a male player sailor and a female player sister. So that they will reject, someone will reject you regardless of your gender. They forgot the gays act. It seems a little bit, because a lot of these, even though they have like a high volume of examples, most of these are just like, they're implied to be gay in a guidebook somewhere, you know. Or it's like a random NPC will say a flirty line to you, regardless of whether you pick a male or female character, which as far as we know, might just be fucking laziness. You know what I mean? Holly, a resident of the Slog, will hit on the player regardless of gender. Deacon mentions getting a face change to appear as a girl for a few months. That is not representation. That's just Deacon putting on an identity for a fucking mission. That's like awful. Hancock, the mayor of Goodneighbor and a recruitable companion, has a quest in Fallout the role-playing game, not in Fallout 4, I would note. Not in Fallout 4. Someone who made the role-playing game had to like put that in themselves. Holly, we did that one. Irma, a co-proprietor of the Memory Den, will flirt with characters of either gender, saying she'd hate to turn a clever boy or girl away. Imagine if she said, I'd hate to turn a clever boy or girl away. Cleo, a robot store owner in Goodneighbor, expresses that while her makers designated her as an Assaultron, she now chooses to identify as a woman. Well, good for Cleo. Mel, a tech expert working for Bobby No-Nos, has the option to flirt with a male survivor if broken out of jail during the Big Dig. Upon returning with Mel at Good Neighbor, Mel remarks that the character is not so bad to look at. Well, there we go, an actual gay character. Like a proper gay character. Cool. Miranda Song, a resident of Vault 81, recounts meeting women from the outside who had promised to take her away from all this. She handed the women all of her money in the hopes that she would find them a place to live out there. Following months of no contact, Miranda received word from a passing trader who mentions that she saw the woman with a man in Diamond City. Pretty bad. Magnolia, a singer in Good Neighbor, has the option to sleep with the player regardless of gender. Trash Can Carla, a caravan merchant, can be responded to sarcastically, with the player stating that they're just looking for love. Carla will call a male player a wise ass and a female player beautiful, but says her loving days are over. Fun fact. Also an Institute spy, so a villain. Andre Michaud, a Mirelurk hunter in Far Harbor with his late husband John. If Andre is healed and woken up, he confides with the player about his last hunting trip with John that ended in his death and Andre's current condition. What do we think of that form of LGBT representation? Where you just have someone that, by all appearances, is just like a straight cis man or woman, and then they just offhandedly go, my husband or my wife, and that's the only mention of being LGBT you get, is them just going, my husband, my wife. Like, what do we think of that? Is that good representation or bad representation? Really curious. Chibnall represent a little bit, yeah. Yeah. It is a bit weird when they say it and it's treated as like, oh, it's a bit offhand and quirky. A man with a husband, can you imagine? It is a bit weird when it's done like that, yes. I agree. Mags Black sent one of her female operators to seduce Savoy, an enforcer for the Disciples, as an attempt to sway him as a contact. After this failed, she sent a male operator to seduce him as well, with similar results. Lambda 8, a runaway simp, had a wife who was a farmer. Well, there we go. Alright, let's keep looking. Fallout, the role-playing game. Fallout 76. Oh, they did a bunch of pride flags too. That's pretty cool. Unfortunately, no one cares about Fallout 76. I'll do that one too. I'll do that one too. Although this one spin has been a good chunk of the runtime so far. But I mean, if you're not complaining, I'm not complaining. Are you complaining? Let's find out if you're complaining or not. Yeah, you are. Great. Let's take a look. Okay, Fallout 76. Fallout 76 is the first game in the series to feature characters that explicitly identify as non-binary. Well, that's cool. In addition, some allies like Becca or Sophia Degure can be romanced regardless of gender. Players can also change aspects of the player characters through the pause menu, allowing players to change their gender at any time. That's cool. The Atomic Shop also offers the free Pride Flag Player Icons bundle, which can be used as in-game avatars. I am glad that they made them free. I'm sure a meeting happened about that, right? Just saw a Forbes article try to use Gödel's incompleteness theorem to prove the divine right of kings. Oh my god. I understood that word, Forbes. I know that magazine. Okay. So let's read this one. Let's start reading Fallout 76's. Burke is a member of the Raiders located at the Crater War Room. They are the first non-binary character to be featured in the Fallout series. In the Steel Dawn storyline, Pierce noticed that Burke was standoffish and uncomfortable with titles the Raiders gave one another. He asked if there was a different way Burke wished to be referred to, eventually setting on the neutral they. Pierce comments that they're a much happier person now for the insignificant price of a word. That's a nice way to, like, teach people about how important pronouns are. It's actually quite good on Fallout 76's part. Because that's the thing, like, if you insist on viewing it as a sacrifice of some kind, to refer to someone as they, them. You have to consider what a tiny sacrifice it actually is, and like just how much you can end up like helping that person. You know what I'm sizzling? So yeah, like it's definitely worth it. That's actually really nice. I know. And the Raiders of all people doing it too. Alright, Polly. Polly is an Assaultron who works for Duchess. When Polly was first programmed, Duchess treated her as if she were a Protectron. Sol, a friend of Duchess, was convinced Polly was so much more than that, remarking she's like a real lady. Sol convinced Duchess that this was the case, and that it was important to treat Polly better. Sol affirms Polly's identity as a lady by calling her a botsis. During the quest, Strength in Numbers, the Vault Dweller is tasked with obtaining a new body for Polly after her old one was destroyed in the Gawley Mine. If the player obtains either a Protectron or a Mr. Handy body, her new body will be painted to appear like an Assaultron, though she'll be upset and express her disappointment to the player, stating she is now trapped. If the player obtains the Assaultron body, she'll express gratitude, calling her body nothing short of art, relieved with the lack of malfunctions and mishaps she was dealing with for years. That's nice. Is Polly Polly? Maybe. Gary Wilkins and Miguel Caldera, two members of the Responders. Gary is mentioned by Miguel in holotapes and terminal entries, and according to a cut holotape... Oh, so they cut that one out. Okay, a cut gay couple. Freddie Lang and Lucy, a couple from before the Great War. Freddie visited a ski resort without telling Lucy, who took a dislike to skiing. When the two were apart, the Great War occurred, and Lucy was killed by the bombs. When Freddie feels survivor's guilt over it, in her holotape dedicated to Lucy, she leaves a posthumous message for her, wishing the bombs never took you from me. Sad. Kelly, a student attracted to Anya, a girl 1 grade higher than her. Nash states that he has a preference for bad boys. If female, he says that they're not my type and suggests taking a cold shower. Johnny Weston says he does not mind shacking up with the player regardless of their gender. Catherine Swan makes multiple references to an ex-girlfriend. If asked directly about her ex, Catherine states that she only started dating her because she thought she was an alien. Catherine has gender-specific lines, calling a female player highly attractive and a male player high-functioning, though only the male version of this dialogue plays in... Oh! Oh! So that's another cut gay character. That's 2 now. The longing refugee will ask the player to take a photo of them for the letter. One of the possible replies about who the letter is for their wife. Molly Cooper, the chief biologist in Vault 96, mentions in a terminal entry that she went on dates with her colleague Nia Valaya and that Nina used to make time for her. On the Overseer's terminal, an entry notes that Nina's acceptance into the Vault required the inclusion of Molly, then stating an undisclosed relationship was possible. Orlando is non-binary and referred to exclusively as they, them. Well, that makes sense if they're called Orlando, because Orlando is like a fictional character. They're like referring to a mythological thing there. Pete Myers, a repairman at the Traveling Nuka World Roadshow, will be dismissive if confronted about Betty Hill's crush on him. He states that he doesn't know if he is that way inclined and adds that he's trying to figure out things for himself. If the player asks if he's attracted to women, he remains unsure about it, saying that the wasteland is complicated as well as trying to understand himself. Ruggy, a deceased settler from the Foundation, is referred to as they by Kenneth Dean in his journal. Settler Wanderer mentions her former girlfriend. See, there's a lot of like my girlfriend, my boyfriend, my husband, my wives. There's one story, there's 2 stories here that I quite like. The Polly Assaultron one and this one about Burke are pretty good. The rest of these though, I'm not sure. Shelley Van Lau and Deborah Timmerman, 2 business owners. While Deborah was initially married to Gregory Timmerman, a letter written to their son Carver refers to Deb and Shelley as his mamas. In a terminal entry to Shelley, Deb mentions Carver getting sick and explains how much she needs her. My dog, he's called Fred. Zertso tells the player he plans to study humans and suggests he might mate with one. If the player offers to mate with Zertso, he states he can only perform the ancient Zabulian love dance with high-ranking government officials, regardless of gender. He offers to instead stand near the player and exchange nearby gases. Exchange nearby gases. My friend, he's called Dog, weird guy. Pre-war, Audrey Stoltz was romantically involved with Alex Guerra. Hugo Stoltz hired a hitman to kill Alex to prevent her from distracting his daughter Audrey with their love and communist propaganda. Josie implies she may be attracted to Marley, which is noticed by Axel and Inke. She calls her pretty like a movie star and gets flustered when she realizes what she said. And then, yeah, as said, they did a bunch of flags for Pride as well, and that's pretty cool, I have to say. What's pretty uncool is how hard and sharp the good representation drops off once Bethesda takes over. Have to say, it's a real decline. As said before, in the first and second Fallout, they were pretty good. In the third Fallout, it drops off pretty hard. And then in New Vegas, it pops back up again, only to drop down pretty hard again for Fallout 4. It kind of seems like they've kind of smoothed everything out to appeal to the lowest common denominator a bit. And unfortunately, that means a lot less compelling LGBT stories in the Fallout universe. Hopefully that changes with the next Fallout game. Though, can't say I'm tremendously optimistic. But if you like this, then maybe you like more stuff from us. So why not check out the channel, Something Blue Audio. Like and subscribe, and there might be a video right over there that you might like. So you should probably click on it. Bye! There, I did that, and I can edit that into a video now. We can do another wheel spin. This is longer than Christmas. Well, there was a lot to get through. It was a long article. I don't know what to tell you. New Vegas has the best, although it would be nice if it had more transgender characters. I agree with that. That's definitely something that could be improved upon. Although I would imagine, given how long the game has been out, I imagine the modding team has definitely seen to that. Why don't we do another spin, eh? Do another spin. We like spins here.
Yeah, baby.
We do like spins here. Hello. Yeah! Vault 77! Let's take a look at where this takes us. Okay. So I'm thinking the next one of these we do, the next Fallout Wiki Roulette, I'm thinking, how about Thursday after next? We'll do the next one in a fortnight. How about that? We should do that. But for now, let's read this article about Vault 77. Vault 77 was one of the Vault series of Fallout shelters developed by Vault-Tec. It was featured in a promotional crossover comic strip entitled One Man and a Crate of Puppets, released to promote Fallout 3. Vault 77 was sealed with only one person inside on October 23rd, 2077. This individual, later referred to as Puppet Man, initially believed that this was a mistake and pleaded for the other fucking people to be let in. With his pleas unheard and unanswered, the years of solitude that followed took a toll on his mental condition. Oh my god. So Vault-Tec just stuck a person in a vault and drove them insane. For what? A laugh? Like yucks? Like what could be gained from this? On February 4th, 2079, Puppet Man found a crate of puppets and immediately began playing with them. He quickly lost himself in his puppet games, and by March 30th, he started to believe that the Vault Boy puppet was talking to him. That night, he tore apart the King puppet and then accused the Vault Boy puppet of the murder. The Vault Boy puppet responded that it was actually Puppet Man himself who murdered the King puppet, prompting the two to escape in fear for what the dog puppet might do. Puppet Man left Vault 77 soon thereafter, leaving the location uninhabited. In 2277, a lone Vault 77 jumpsuit and a holotape can be found in Paradise Falls. The audio recording on the holotape states that the jumpsuit freaks the boys out because of a story about a stranger with no name from a while back, also fearing that if the jumpsuit is his, he might come back for it. And then let's take a look at some of these images. Oh! Oh! But we aren't here to talk about those vaults. We're here to talk about Vault 77. One man and a crate of puppets. Hey, open up, you forget all the other fucking people. Oh, and you're my accomplice. I wouldn't. I couldn't. You did. The king has been murdered. It is regicide. What happened here? Oh no. Sweet Lord, dear merciful God. 1 year, 3 months, and 12 days later, and then they put the puppet box. Puppet ration? Vault Boy. You want me to add Vault Boy? I'll add Vault Boy into the wheel. We're probably going to be going until 10:30 GMT tonight. So, another 20 minutes or so. No, trapping a man to drive him insane is actually based. Brian, are you Vault Boy? No, I'm not Vault Boy, sadly. I wish I was. I do wish I was Walter Goggins sometimes, that is true. Okay. Spin the wheel!
Yeah, baby.
Yeah! Oh no! Alright, the Bright Brotherhood. Let's see what this has to offer us in terms of entertainment and maybe even knowledge. On Hiss, the Fallout Wiki Roulette. Okay. How is that even Sigma? They just kill each other. That's not Sigma at all. I don't know, man. Have you seen the movie Taxi Driver? That's pretty Sigma. The Bright Brotherhood is a religious faction that worship the creator in the Mojave Wasteland, based in the Repcon test site of Novak. Okay, so this is a really good example of why Fallout New Vegas is the best Fallout game. This is just a minor subquest that's in Fallout New Vegas. Check this out. Okay? A strange cult of ghouls and a single human fully believing himself to be a ghoul, the Bright Brotherhood is led by a charismatic and prophetic glowing one named Jason Bright. He never turned feral and is instead built up a small following of like-minded ghouls, clad in the vestments of a tribe in the final stages of preparation to leave for a new world. A promised land foretold by Bright that is the ghouls' ultimate goal. Sometime in the past, Chris Haverson came to the facility believing he was a ghoul. Even after pleading with him, the other followers were unable to convince him that he was actually still a human. Thus, this makes him the only human follower. Although he was not allowed on the ship for the Great Journey, when Bright says it is the will of the Creator, Bright also believes that it is no coincidence that the two humans were instrumental to the success of the Great Journey, as it was the will of the Creator and it is his blessing. He believes that the Creator sent the Courier and Havisham to expiate the sins of the bigoted humans. By helping the Brotherhood and making the Great Journey possible, they made Havisham a saint of the Brotherhood. So, like, here's what's going on here, okay? I won't read the whole article. It's fine, alright? Here's what's going on here. These ghouls, okay? You know what a ghoul is if you've seen the Fallout TV show. These ghouls have built a fucking space rocket, okay? And your job in the quest is to help them get up into space by finding rocket parts. And if you succeed, the rocket will fucking fly up and go into space. Pretty good time. Fallout 4 actually rips this quest off with the robots on the USS Constitution, and you do the exact same quest, but this time it's for robots. Because Fallout 4 is not as good as Fallout New Vegas. Let's take a look at some notes. Oh. Take a look at some notes. So, the Bright Brotherhood mainly appears during the quest Come Fly With Me. However, the bodies of dead Bright Brotherhood followers may be found in certain locations throughout the wasteland. Their leader, Jason Bright, believes the courier to be sent by the Creator, allowing them to continue with the Great Journey. He asks the courier to deal with the demons in the facility's basement and to help Chris Havison obtain the last components needed to complete the rockets. The Brotherhood's fate is indirectly linked to the fate of Novak at the ending of the game. If the quest is left uncompleted, there is no mention of the Brotherhood. However, feral rules from Repcon that are not reined in by the Brotherhood will ravage Novak after it is attacked by the Legion. If the courier helps them embark on their pilgrimage, the Brotherhood will return to restore the defenses of Novak and gaining independence from the NCR. If the courier helps them embark on their pilgrimage and assists in a Legion victory, the Brotherhood will return to help evacuate Novak. If the courier kills Jason Bright and his followers or sabotages the rockets and causes them to explode, the resulting radiation will spread into Novak, causing it to be abandoned. See, this is why Fallout New Vegas is the best game, because there's this little dumb goofy quest about like helping these ghouls build a space rocket, and it turns out to have permanent and lasting effects on the world depending on how you interact with the quest. Really, really good game design. Let's spin the wheel again. This time you'll actually be able to see it. Won't that be something?
Yeah, baby.
Alright, giddy up, Buttercup. Also, side note, it's really, really funny to me that, oh, it's gone now. Progressive Insurance is using AI in their new ads, and that's really funny to me. Zombies, I will add zombies to the wheel, yes. Zombies can be added to the wheel. There we go. Beautiful. Okay, giddy up, Buttercup. Depending on how long it takes, this might be the last one tonight. We'll see. We will see. Just finding it really quick. Just finding it really quickly. Hang on. Trying to find the Giddy Up Buttercup. The main page for it, but there doesn't seem to be one. Huh. They don't have a page for it. That's quite surprising. Oh well. Let's spin the wheel again. Why don't we? That's really surprising to me because that is an actual object in the Fallout games.
Yeah, baby.
Weird. What an appropriate last thing. Bomb. I feel like it should all end with a bomb, don't you? Jesus, this turned into quite an article. Give me a second and we'll look at this one. We'll take a little look at this. We got 6 likes today. That's pretty good. It's pretty good for a new wiki. All right, let's take a look. So, Ballistic Orbital Missile Base 001 is a large donut-shaped US space station capable of firing 24 nuclear-tipped ballistic missiles. While it is currently staffed with 8 individuals, it is capable of housing 6 people long-term. There we go, that's what it looks like. Fantastic. Ryan, why did you say that thing on the bridge? What thing on the bridge? The sister station Bomb 002 existed alongside Bomb 001 until some point after the Great War. Another station, Bomb 003, was never completed, and its parts were left rotting in the hangar of Bloomfield Space Center. The layout for Bomb 001 shows areas designated for living, recreation, medical treatment, and a separate area for the station's true purpose, a nuclear missile control and launch center. See the above message? What did PewDiePie do on a bridge? I don't know what PewDiePie did on a bridge. Over the course of its 200-year wait, Bomb 001 sustained a bit of damage. Its circular out-of-hull remained intact except for damage on the northern section. A stray communications satellite impacted this part of the hull, resulting in severe damage to the interior door mechanism that linked the living quarters to the command center. Because of this, the living section and the command section are completely shut off from each other. Not that anyone is currently living on the satellite. So, like, there's basically a nuclear guillotine just hanging over the heads of everyone in the Fallout universe. Like, at any moment, this space station with 24 nukes on it could either drop its entire payload on everyone or just fall from the sky. I didn't read your... What message didn't I read, Craig? There's been so many. What message didn't I... Zombies? Did I not read that one? The plot twist that I'm PewDiePie, I read that one. What bridge? I can't roll up and read the message. It'll kill the pacing of the stream. Just retype the message, it's fine. Inside, in the living quarters section, the environment is very sterile with plenty of silver and white paneling all around. Beds fold out from the rounded halls when needed and fold back into the wall when not in use. The kitchen is small and utilitarian, providing the bare essentials for two people to maneuver and fix meals. You're Pewds? I am not PewDiePie, no. The message is small and utilitarian, provided the bare essentials for two people to maneuver and fix meals. There is one bathroom facility able to accommodate 2 or 3 people at a time, complete with suction tubes and wash towels. Ryan, don't you know about the PewDiePie bridge incident from a while? I don't know about the PewDiePie bridge incident. What is this? Let me look it up. There, I'll look it up afterwards. I'll look up what happens, okay? After this article. A little bit of bonus content. When the prisoner arrives at Bomb 001, they will dock on the living quarters side of the station. Upon entering, they will find that the bomb has been fully activated on the station. Some of the fold-away beds look like they've been used recently, and there's evidence of use in the kitchen and bathrooms as well. Not to mention the loud, audible computer voice announcing the current time until missile launch. T-minus 120 minutes. If one accesses a nearby computer terminal, they will discover that Dr. Victor Presper and some of his cronies have come aboard the station and taken control. What game is this in? It appears in Van Buren. So this was going to be like a cut thing? Huh. Alright, we'll look up the... That's kind of nuts. I'm not gonna lie. It's like kind of nuts. So this was going to be in Fallout 3 when the original developers were still gonna make it. This was going to be, I guess, the final thing. I guess. Pretty interesting. Not gonna lie. It is kind of wild that like this would have just been hanging over everyone's heads in the Fallout universe, and like at any moment. The space station could have just dropped its payload on everyone. That's quite a terrifying thought. And there's already more than enough terrifying thoughts in the Fallout universe. So that's a little nuts. Why don't we take a look at the PewDiePie thing? And that's how we can end this stream. Okay. It's on the list of deaths wiki. Oh no! Go away! It's a fandom wiki. Gross. Alright, I'll take a look because it's the only place I can find it. The bridge incident was a major incident in the PewDiePie YouTube channel. After another player kills PewDiePie's teammate, he says the N-word, making the event one of the most... Oh, okay, so he just says a slur. It's pretty bad. It's bad to say slurs. I think that's something that we can all agree on here. Fallout Wiki Roulette. I didn't know about that one, no. So I'm actually wrapping up now. I would like to thank everyone for a very successful first episode of Fallout Wiki Roulette. We will be back again on Tuesday with TARDIS Wiki Roulette. Maybe sooner than that for a special thing. Who knows? Who dares to dream? But until then, I have been Ryan, your wonderful host. And I will see you tonight on Wild Magic for the murder of Sonic the Hedgehog. So that should be a good time as well. And until then, bye. Have a good time, everyone. Enjoy. War never changes.